Hello students, welcome back to our channel for Tech Online. Hope you all are doing good. So today we'll discuss a few more practice questions, or we can say important questions for the Jharkhand Food Safety Officer examination. So today will be our class 5, and make sure that you have watched our previous videos, that is from class 1 to class 4. So chalo, let us proceed now. Yes, before starting, there's an important information for you all that FoodTech Online, they have launched an ebook for the Jharkhand Food Safety Officer examination. And this ebook, it will actually consist of both syllabus for both the subjects, that is for paper 1 and paper 2. For paper 1, that is food law, international food control system, FSSAI specials or other national bodies or organization. Paper 2, it will consist of food chemistry and nutrition, nutraceuticals, food additives, food microbiology, FSMS, food analysis and the instruments which are used in the food analysis, and the food processing and preservations, the methods. So for more information, you can contact the given number, and the link for this ebook, it's in the description box. So chalo, now let us proceed now. So question number 1. Which class of carbohydrate is considered as non-sugars? So options are monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides or oligosaccharides. So the class of carbohydrate which is considered as non-sugar, the correct option is option number C, that is polysaccharide. So we know that polysaccharides, these are considered as non-sugar carbohydrates, whereas this monosaccharides and disaccharides, these are the sugars, or we can say simple carbohydrates. These two are the simple carbohydrates. Whereas this oligosaccharide, these are the short chains of monosaccharides, whereas oligosaccharide is a short chain of monosaccharides. And we know monosaccharides, these are the simple carbohydrates, that means sugars. So over here, my correct option is polysaccharides. However, polysaccharides, these are the long chains of monosaccharide units, but these are generally not sweet, and thus they are considered as non. So these are not sweet. Thus, these are considered as non-sugars. So over here, my correct option is option number C, that is polysaccharide. Next. Question number 2. Which of the following glycosidic linkage found in maltose? So options are glucose alpha 1 beta 2 fructose, glucose alpha 1 4 glucose, or galactose beta 1 4 glucose, or glucose beta 1 4 glucose. So over here, my correct option will be option number B, that is glucose alpha 1 4 glucose. The glycosidic linkage which is found in the maltose is glucose alpha 1 4 glucose. So in maltose, actually it is composed of two glucose molecules which are linked by an alpha 1 4 glycosidic bond. Question number 3. Which of the following is also known as invert sugar? So options are fructose, sucrose, dextrose or glucose. So over here, my correct option is B, that is sucrose. So actually this invert sugar, it is created when the sucrose, it is hydrolyzed into the components, that is monosaccharides, glucose and the fructose. Now this hydrolysis actually can occur naturally. So naturally it can occur, example, in honey, or can be done industrially. So the resulting mixture of this glucose and the fructose, actually it is called the invert sugar. And the hydrolysis process, it inverts the optical rotation of the solution. So the example, it is so sucrose, it is also known as invert sugar. So option number B is my correct option. Next. Question number 4. Name the major storage form of carbohydrates in animals. The options are cellulose, chitin, starch or glycogen. So the major storage form of carbohydrates in animal is glycogen. So option number D will be my correct option. Next, question number 5. Nutritional polysaccharides are, the options are starch and glycogen, starch and chitin, or starch and cellulose, or starch and glucose. So the nutritional polysaccharides, these are actually starch and glycogen. Actually, these are the primary polysaccharides. So over here, my correct option will be option number A, that is starch and glycogen, and these are the primary polysaccharides. And these are used for energy storage in plants. So in plants it is starch, and in animals it is glycogen. So over here my correct option is option number A. Question number 6. Glycogen in animals are stored in. So options are option number A, liver and spleen, liver and muscles, liver and bile, or liver and adipose tissue. So glycogen in animals are stored in option number B, that is liver and muscles. Actually, these are the primary storage area. These are the primary storage sites for glycogen. Which is used to maintain the glucose levels, or it can provide the energy for the muscle contractions, and so on. So over here my correct option is option number B, that is livers and muscles. Question number 7. Oligosaccharides linked to proteins are called, so options are glycoproteins, glycolipids, galactosides, or gangliosides. So over here, the oligosaccharides which are linked to the proteins, these are known as glycoproteins. Option number A will be my correct option. Question number 8. Starch consists of. So options are unbranched amylose, branched amylopectins, branched amylose, and branched amylopectin, or unbranched amylose, unbranched amylopectins, or none of these. Actually, starch, it consists of unbranched amylose and branched amylopectins. The correct option is option number A. Actually, this amylose, it is unbranched form of starch, and this amylopectin, it is a branched form of the starch. So over here my correct option will be option number A. Question number 9. Amylopectins has, so options are beta 1,4 and beta 1,6 linkage, beta 1,6 linkage, or C, alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6 linkage, or option number D, that is alpha 1,2 linkage. Actually, amylopectins, it has alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6 linkage. So over here my correct option is C. Now this alpha 1,4 linkages, actually it forms a linear chain of glucose units. So it forms this alpha 1,4 linkage, it forms a linear chain of glucose unit. Of glucose unit, whereas this alpha 1,6 linkage, it creates a branch point in the structure of this amylopectin. So this creates a branch. So this actually amylopectin is a branched polysaccharide which is made up of glucose unit which is linked together. And the main chain which consists of this alpha 1,4 linkages, which forms a linear structure, and however at the interval we can say that along the chain there are the branches which are created by alpha 1,6 linkages, which results in the branch structure. Now this branching, it allows the more we can say more efficient packaging of glucose units, making amylopectin a major component of the starch and the storage form of carbohydrate in the plant. So this amylopectin which forms the linkage, that is 1,6 alpha 1,6 linkage, it is the main it is a major component of the starch. So this alpha 1,6 linkage, it is the major component. Since it has the property, or we can say since it allows for more efficient packaging of the glucose unit. Allows more efficient packaging of glucose. Over here, the correct option is C, that is alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6 linkages. Question number 10. Chitin consists of, so options are N-acetylmuramic acid, N-acetylglucosamine, a D-glucose unit, or N-acetylmuramic acid and N-acetylglucose. So the chitin actually consists of N-acetylglucosamine. Now we know that this chitin actually it is a structural polysaccharide. It is a structural polysaccharide. Which is found in the exoskeletons of the arthropods, we can say. So it is found in the exoskeleton of arthropods. Arthropods like the insects, it can be in the insects, or it can be the crustaceans like crustaceans. Okay, and in the cell walls of the fungi also. Fungi cell. So okay, actually it is composed, means this chitin, it is composed of primarily the N-acetylglucosamine monomers which are linked together. So it composed of N-acetylglucosamine monomers which are linked together. So over here my correct option is B. Next, question number 11. Which of the following biomolecules it simply refers to staff of life? So options are ferrous sulfate, ferrous gluconate, ferrous lactate, or all. So yes, the term that is staff of life, what does this term actually refers to? So this term typically it refers to the staple foods uh, that provides the primary source of nutrition, energies for the large portion of the population, for the large portion of population. So in this context, actually the biomolecule that is often it refers to as the staff of life. So over here my all the options are correct. That is ferrous sulfate, ferrous gluconate and ferrous lactate. These three are correct. So my correct option is option number D, that is all. So actually over here this ferrous sulfate, ferrous gluconate and ferrous lactate, so these are all forms of iron supplements. So we can say these all are actually forms of iron supplements. And we know that these iron supplements it plays a crucial role for preventing and treating the iron deficiency diseases like anemia. So So the condition that can result from inadequate iron intake or the absorption. So this iron actually it is essential nutrient for the population. So that is why this ferrous sulfate, ferrous gluconate, ferrous lactate, these are used as the iron supplements, and that is why the term that is staff of life is used over here, since it is providing us the supplement of the iron to fight against the deficiency disease from the anemia. So over here my correct option will be D, that is all. Question number 12. Which of the following does not have sulfuric acid groups? So options are heparin, keratosulfate, hyaluronic acid or chondroitin sulfate. So correct option is C, that is hyaluronic acid. So this hyaluronic acid, it does not contain any sulfuric acid group. Whereas this hyaluronic acid, it is a glycosaminoglycan, or in short we say it as GAG. So this GAG actually it consists of the repeating units of disaccharides. Repeating disaccharide units of N-acetyl sorry, and glucose acid. So this hyaluronic acid actually it consists of the repeating disaccharide units of this N-acetyl glucosamine and gluronic acid. Now, so over here it does not consist of any sulfate groups. Whereas on the other hand, this heparin, keratosulfate or this chondroitin sulfate, all these they consist of the sulfate groups. Since these all are sulfated glycosamine. So this means that they consist of sulfate group in their sulfuric acid in their groups. So over here my correct option is option number C. Question number 13. Which of the following are the functional groups of carbohydrates? So options are carboxyl groups, aldehyde and ketone groups, alcohol and carboxylic groups, or hydroxyl groups and hydrogen groups. So the functional groups of carbohydrates, these are the aldehyde and the ketone groups. We know that this carbohydrates are typically they consist of this aldehyde, or we say it as aldose group, aldose, or ketone or the ketose. So over here ketones as their functional groups. So over here my correct option is option number B. Question number 14. Which of the following monosaccharides in the majority it is found in the human body? So options are D type, L type, LD type, or none of the above. So the majority of monosaccharide which is found in the human body, these are the D type configurations. These are the D type configurations. Now we know that in nature most sugars they include those which are found in human physiology. These are the D-type configuration, and this configuration actually these are common due to many ways that enzymes synthesize and the breakdown which occurs in the structure. So over here my correct option is D-type configuration. Question number 15. Which of the following is the smallest carbohydrate trios? So options are ribose, glucose, glyceraldehyde or dihydroxyacetone. So over here correct option is C, that is glyceraldehyde. So ribose, actually ribose, it is a 5 carbon pentose. Okay, so it's not a triose, whereas glucose, we all know that glucose, it is a 6 carbon hexose. And so since it is also not a triose, whereas glyceraldehyde is actually is indeed the smallest carbohydrate triose, since it consists of 3 carbons, so it's a triose. Whereas this dihydroxyacetone, so yes, this dihydroxyacetone, actually it is also a 3 carbon sugar, but unlike glyceraldehyde, it is a ketose. So it is a ketose. It is also a 3 carbon, but it is a ketose, whereas this glyceraldehyde, it is an aldose. So over here my correct option will be option number C, that is glyceraldehyde. Question number 16. Which of the following is an example of apimer? So options are glucose and ribose, glucose and galactose, glucose and mannose, or glucose, ribose and mannose. Okay, what is this apimer first? So apimer, actually these are the type of stereoisomers that differ in the configuration of a single stereogenic center. That means the structure is same for both of them, but only there will be a difference in one of its carbon atom. These are known as apimers. So over here among the following option, my correct option will be C, that is glucose and mannose. Since this glucose and mannose, these are the apimers of each other because they only differ in their second carbon configuration. So they differ only in their second carbon configuration, carbon atom. So over here correct option will be C. Question number 17. Which of the following does not have sulfuric acid groups? The options are heparin, keratosulfate, hyaluronic acid, or chondroitin sulfate. So I think this question is repeated once again. So over here my correct option is option number C. We have just discussed this question in question number 13 or 14. So correct option is C, that is hyaluronic acid. Next. Question number 18. Carbohydrates are, so options are polyhydroxyaldehydes and phenols, polyhydroxyaldehydes and ketones, polyhydroxyketones and phenols, or polyhydroxyalcohols and phenols. So carbohydrates, these are the polyhydroxyaldehydes and ketones. So we read just now that these are aldehydes and ketones. We know that these carbohydrates, these are the organic compounds which consist of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms. So they typically have a backbone of this carbon atoms with this hydroxyl group. So backbone with the hydroxyl group which is attached, and they contain either an aldehyde group, that is CHO, or a ketone group, that is C double bond O, a group as their functional groups. So therefore they can be described as the polyhydroxy aldehydes if they have an attached aldehyde group, or we can say if it has an attached ketone group, so we can say it as polyhydroxy ketones. So over here my correct option will be B, that is polyhydroxy aldehyde and of aldehydes and ketones. Question number 19. Which among the following are the reducing sugars? Glucose, dihydroxyacetones, erythrulose, or none? So what are reducing sugars? So these are the sugars that are capable of reducing other substances. Okay. Particularly those contain the metal ions. So example we can say the copper ions. Now see. This reduction actually it involves the sugar molecule which donates the electron and can be oxidized itself. So among the following, the only which can donate and can be oxidized itself is option number A, that is the glucose unit. So my correct option is A, that is glucose is my reducing sugar, whereas this dihydroxyacetone and erythrulose, these are not the reducing sugar. Why? Because this dihydroxyacetone is a ketose and cannot undergo oxidation at the carbonyl group necessary for the reducing reaction. Whereas this erythrose, this is also a ketose and it lacks a free aldehyde group or the ketose group. So which is necessary for the reduction of the other substances or other compounds. So over here my correct option will be option number A, that is glucose. Question number 20, sucrose is a, so options are monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide or none. Okay, this question is basic and I have also discussed this question in my previous video. I want you all to comment me down the correct option for this question. So do comment it down. Question number 21. Lactose is a disaccharide which consists of. The options are glucose fructose, glucose galactose, glucose sucrose or glucose ribose. So lactose actually it is a disaccharide and it consists of glucose and galactose. That is option number B will be my correct option. And we know that this lactose actually it is formed by the condensation reaction between the molecule of the glucose and a molecule of a galactose, which are linked together by beta 1 or glycoside bond. So correct option is option number B. Question number 22. Which of the following carbohydrate is not sugar? Okay. Options are glucose, lactose, sucrose or cellulose. So among the following option, my D, that is cellulose, it is not a sugar. Whereas this glucose, lactose and sucrose, these are my sugars. Whereas this glucose, it is a simple sugar. That is monosaccharide. Whereas this lactose and sucrose, these are disaccharides. Disaccharides means they compose of two sugar units. Whereas this cellulose, it is a polysaccharide. It is a polysaccharide. Polysaccharide means it consists of it is made up of multiple sugar units, specifically the glucose unit, and to form a long chain unit of this glucose. While this cellulose, we can say it is derived from the sugar molecule, but it does not taste sweet or it is not considered as sweet in the typical sense. So instead it is served as a structural component. It is a structural component in plant. It does not taste sweet. So over here correct option is my D. Question number 23. Identify the monosaccharide from the following options. So deoxyribose, maltose, sucrose or fructose. So the monosaccharide from the options provided, it is number D, that is fructose. So fructose, it is a monosaccharide. It is a monosaccharide. Okay, right. Fructose is a monosaccharide. Specifically, we can say it is a ketose sugar. Okay. Um, whereas keto sugar, it is basically this fructose. It is found in the fruits, in honey, and we can say it is one of the component for the disaccharide sucrose. Whereas this deoxyribose, so this deoxyribose, we know it is a pentose sugar which is found in the DNA. It is a pentose sugar, and where it is found? It is found in our DNA. And this maltose, it is a disaccharide. It is a disaccharide. That means it is composed of two glucose units, and sucrose, it is also a disaccharide. That means it is composed of two glucose units. So correct option over here will be my option number D, that is fructose. Question number 24. Raffinose is an example of. So options are monosaccharide, disaccharide, trisaccharide or tetrasaccharide. So raffinose, it is an example of trisaccharide. That is option number C will be my correct option. Actually, raffinose, it is a trisaccharide with composed of three sugar units. These are lactose, glucose and fructose. So these, actually this raffinose, it consists of three sugar units. These are galactose, glucose and fructose. And we know this galactose, glucose and fructose, these are the monosaccharides. Okay, so over here my correct option is C. That is, it is a trisaccharide. Question number 25. Which among the following is carbohydrate does not satisfy the formula that is CXH2OY? Okay. Options are fructose, glucose, deoxyribose or lactose. So what does this CXH2OY? So you should mug up this formula. It is a general formula. General form for carbohydrates. Yes. Now, acha, what does over here X represent? It represents number of carbon atoms. And Y, it represents number of water molecules. We can say water molecules which are formed during the dehydration synthesis. Yes. So over here among the following options, that is option number C, that is deoxyribose sugar, it does not satisfy the formula that is CXH2OY. So what is the formula of it? It is C5H10O4. So it does not satisfy this general formula that is CXH2OY. So my correct option is over here C. But however, it is important to note over here that this formula is a generalization and it may not apply to all the carbohydrates. So this deoxyribose, so we can see over here that this deoxyribose, so this deoxyribose, it is a pentose sugar since 5 carbon. So it is a pentose sugar, 5 carbon. So pentose sugar for monosaccharide, so its molecular formula, so it does not exactly match with the generic carbohydrates formula, we can say. So over here my correct option will be option number C, that is deoxyribose. Whereas this fructose, glucose and lactose, they have a formula, and their formula it matches with the generic formula of this carbohydrate or the general formula. So the one which does not satisfy is the deoxyribose. So correct option will be my option number C. Okay, with this we have completed few important questions for the Jharkhand Food Safety Officer examination. And if you want to practice more such questions, then you can install our app, that is Quick Online app. The link is in the description box for you all. And over here you can practice for other food related exams also, like FSSAI State Food Safety Officer, Central Food Safety Officer, GATE examination questions. So different sections are there, you can go there and practice depending on the paper which you are preparing for. And if you like our videos, you can share with your friends, and if you have any doubt you can comment us down below. Subscribe our YouTube channel for more such videos, and till then enjoy learning and prepare yourself for the Jharkhand Food Safety Officer examination. Thank you.